Thomas Show on ResolutionRDO.com, and we're here to interview Mike Howe of Metal Church, who not only is the second singer from the band, but he's also returned to definitely do some serious throwdown and slam. Their new album, 11, Roman numerals X and 1, which is 10 and 1 in Roman, is actually done very well on many of the charts, and is actually in the Billboard Top 200 at 157, which is phenomenal. So it just goes to show, when you got a winning formula, you stick with it. So here today is Mike Howe of Metal Church, and we're going to discuss a little bit about the current album, as well as some of the classic albums that he did with Metal Church back in the early 90s. But we're going to focus on this current album, also how he sees as some of the positive critical reviews of the record, and also they're going to be touring with Megadeth here in the next week or so. This is really awesome. So Mike?
Thank you, Sonny. Good to be here.
So, when you originally started, you were actually in a band called Heretic, correct? Before you joined Metal Church?
Yeah, and before that it was a band called Snare. So we moved from Detroit area to Hollywood in 1984 to pursue our metal career there, and I was with them for about a year, and then we disbanded, and I joined up with Heretic for about 9 months actually, and they had already had songs written for their Breaking Point album that we did, so we went in and did that, and that's where I met Kurt Vanderhoof, because he produced that record, and we started working together there, and we discovered a beautiful chemistry between the two of us, and so that kind of blossomed into a Metal Church thing. So he asked me if I wanted to try out for Metal Church, because there was an opening, because Dave Wayne had left during that period, and so I said sure. I flew up and gave it a shot, and he called me back a week or two later and said, if you want the gig, it's yours. And during that tryout for Metal Church, he'd written this song that he was really proud of, Anthem to the Estranged, and so he had me track it on a 4-track and do the vocals, because he really wanted to see how that song would work out. So that was kind of my test song, was Anthem to the Estranged, and then I played with the boys, Greg and Kirk and John and Duke, and everyone seemed to like what I was doing, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, the album's pretty solid, especially with some of the opening tracks. I mean, you had Fake Healer and Rest in Pieces. I mean, really great. Not to mention, you guys also changed the subject matter a little bit from some of the more paranoia type of stuff of the David Wayne era, and then you kind of more modernized a little bit, and just a tad bit heavier. I mean, I remember talking to some of my friends at the time who were also, and they loved that change.
Yeah.
I mean, David Wayne has the magic chemistry from the original.
Sure, yeah.
But it's pretty obvious they had a winning formula with you in the band, and I mean, Badlands was actually very widely received. I mean, surprisingly, even MTV, I do believe, played the full album-length version of it in the video from time to time, and that was almost unheard of.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting time, and that was the only song, that was the first song I was involved in writing with Kurt, and but yeah, I mean, with Dave out of the picture, Kurt stepped up and did a lot more lyric writing and things like that, so I think that was the natural evolution of Kurt and then me coming in there, our chemistry together.
Now, were the album sales respectable compared to the Dark? Is that why Elektra kind of didn't stick with you for the next record, or Epic make a better opportunity for you guys to jump ship and go there?
No, well, I think that the record sales were good for Blessing in Disguise. I don't think it was a matter of record sales. I think it was a matter of a disinterest at Elektra. They had Metallica, and I just think that was enough for them, and we didn't have anybody there that was going to bat for us. So that's why. And then we were going through managerial changes and problems there. So when we jumped ship on a manager and went to a new one, the new manager was like, well, let's go to another company that, Epic, that seems to maybe want to do better for you. So that's what we did.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, like you said, when you look at the two albums between The Dark and Blessing in Disguise, there's definitely a maturity level that's definitely increased. And then it really went to like the stratosphere with the Human Factor. I mean, just a phenomenal record overall. I mean, I don't think there's really a bad song on the record.
Oh, well, thank you. It's very kind of you. And I love that record as well. But like I say, all these records are like your babies, your children, and everyone's different. And the time period that you're writing and recording them is different. You change. And that's a beautiful thing also.
So in '93, after you left, you actually officially retired in 1995 and decided to do domestic life.
Mm-hmm.
Were you still kind of noodling around with music at all, just in your own free time? You just washed your hands of it?
Yeah, I was done. No, I was very disenfranchised with the whole music business, because of things that, for lack of a better term, ruined the music, my love of being in a band and being in metal church, because I loved being in metal church, and I really felt that managers and the whole business itself just kind of ruined music for me, left me with a bad taste in my mouth. So
Coverdale often said that after he broke up Whitesnake, said the same thing.
I just had to get away, stuff, because it ruined music in general. I didn't even want to listen to music. I was like, God, this whole thing is. So, years later, of course, I fell back in love with music and all sorts of music, but and I did my thing domestically, and here we are now. Kurt, now almost 2 years ago, fall of 2014, called me, and we started conversations about how it was different and what we wanted to accomplish and how that would happen. And here we are today. And we're very lucky.
There's definitely chemistry difference between Ryan Monroe and then you coming back on. I mean, just the couple of those albums that featured him, it seemed a lot darker. I mean, it just didn't have some of the gravitas of either you or Wayne. What was interesting when you come back and you listen to 11, you're just kind of like, wow, it's like everybody's like, man, Metal Church is back. I mean, like you said, when you got a winning formula, you stick with it.
If you can. Yeah.
If you can, right. That's true. Yeah. Just ask Blackie Lawless how many lineup changes that he's had in his career.
Yeah, well, it gets tough. Everyone has their personal lives and, their own trials and tribulations to go through. So if you can keep the guys together, it's a blessing, right? In disguise.
Right. One of the things I like interesting about Blackie Lawless is the fact, especially since the Crimson Idol, he really started dedicating more time to liner notes, writing stuff about the songs and things of that nature, which I think is a good thing in a way, because the fact that when you listen to the album by itself, you get one impression. When you go back and read what the artist is actually trying to convey, you're kind of, oh, I didn't get that. I mean, how many kids I knew didn't even know Master of Puppets was about cocaine, and about addiction. Nobody had a clue. They just thought it was a cool riff, Master of Puppets, and stuff like that. But of the albums that you played on, as well as the new album, especially some of the old stuff, what are some of the songs you think are still as competitive today as they were 25 years ago?
Oh, I think a lot of them are. Dayton Poverty, In Harm's Way. There's the Social Ulcers still out there that I'm struggling with nowadays. So a lot of people still connect with what's going on, and it's very satisfying, and it makes us feel good about what we've done in the past and the art that we had created, and people coming up to us every day saying, oh, it really meant a lot to us, and it still does. It really makes you feel good, so we're grateful for that.
Well, you guys wrote about life.
Yeah,
I think that's what
right.
really matters.
Being honest is the main thing, so that's what we try to do, is just be honest about our music.
As I like to say about Leonard Skinner, they said every song they ever wrote, they lived. So that's why they wrote it. I mean, I think a lot of us who also listen to Poison, for example, they write about life. And they can make it entertaining, and they can also make it sad, for some of the stuff, like something to believe in. But I think that's why people keep going to see Poison, not just because the sound of the era, but the realness of the lyrics and the music, because they can totally relate to it, and they can live with that. I think Metal Church still has that. That's why a lot of people are really excited about the new record. Plus the fact you guys have a unique sound. That's one thing I always liked about Metal Church. You get lumped into the thrash metal scene, which you really aren't thrash, and you really aren't heavy metal. You're hard rock, but you're harder than hard rock. Yeah. It's really weird, but I know a lot of friends of mine who they have Metallica and Motley Crue, but they always had a copy of Metal Church somewhere in their collection. So how do you think about that?
Well, we just don't want to be pigeonholed to one genre of music or one type of music within our genre. We don't want to get bored, with ourselves, and we feel like, we'll write some heavier stuff, we'll write some mid-tempo, we'll write some speed stuff, just to mix it up and make an album that is got a lot of different feels and a lot of different emotions on it, and that's the kind of record that we like to make and we like to listen to. So if it sounds the same from the beginning to the end, it would bore us. So that's how we approach it.
So how do you feel about the reaction to the two videos that you had posted on the main website when you were showing re-recording Badlands, as well as the video for No Tomorrow? I mean, actually, I thought it was pretty cool. And then that silo, whatever the heck it was, and then they just imploded it afterwards. I was like, oh, well, so much for a retake if you had to go fix that.
But that's an archival shot, so
yeah. But it was a really cool video. I mean, like I said, because one of the problems with technology with videos these days, it's harder to make them look, that look or glammy like they did back then. That's more in your face reality. This is the band playing.
Yeah.
Even though you may lip sync to some of it, it's harder for some of the older bands to look as competitive because someone you can tell it looks like he's running off with the episode lip sync or something like that. But I was just like, dude, it's a cool band. I mean, how could you not dig Metal Church? I mean, I remember a buddy of mine was telling me about Cradle of Filth, and he's just like, oh man, you gotta check out this band, dude. It sounds like Metal Church. I'm like, okay. And so I popped it in. I heard that, dude, they sound nothing like Metal Church, man. What are you smoking, dude? And he's like, no, the music. I said, nah, dude, that sounds nothing like Metal Church. I said, I have not heard anybody sound like Metal Church.
Well, thank you.
And seriously, I mean, you guys definitely have your unique sound that if anyone were to try to copy it, they go, dude, you're ripping off Metal Church. So I've seen that.
That's why I love Metal Church, and I'm very lucky to be in Metal Church. So that's what draws me to the band, and that's what drew me back into the band.
So now that you guys are also doing some bigger tours with headliners like Megadeth and also playing overseas and stuff, obviously there's going to be talk later on of possible new album. Are you having any plans about maybe recording some of these gigs on your current tour, either for future release or just have for archive?
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So we do have things in the works. So
good.
We have a lot of things in the work. Metal Church we've been very busy this year, and we're very happy that we've been able to be busy this year. It's been a banner year for us, and it's exceeded all our expectations. That's a double negative, but we're so grateful and thankful to be here today and look back at the year we had. We could have never guessed how receptive the crowd was and how receptive all the fans were and to our record and all that. And like I said, we're just so happy to be here. So we've done a lot of things, recorded some live stuff, and we've made some videos, and we've got a lot of things in the work coming up still this year. So we're very excited, and then we're going to get back in the studio really soon and start writing another record because we want to keep going with this. Yeah.
So the current album, what are probably your 2 or 3 favorite songs?
Well, I mean,
not just composition, but also enjoy playing live.
Sure. Well, Reset is one that I love doing. We don't play it live yet, but Needle and the Sutures are really a big favorite of mine, and No Tomorrow, which is why we picked for the video. That was the first song that really caught me, and the rest of the guys said this is definitely a hooky song that we really love playing. So, but then there's 8 other songs that are really good too.
Right. It's like your children. How do you pick your favorite one?
Yeah, there's no favorites, but they grew.
A lot of artists say that I really enjoy the songs, but some of them they enjoy more live because either they like the reaction from the crowd, the sing-along ability, or just because when they say that message, they know they get a reaction.
That's true.
So some artists might say, "Oh, I really like this song live, even though I prefer this song on the album."
Well, that was the beautiful thing about coming back to Metal Church and having the new members for me. The rest of the band play these old Mike Howe songs, and they're like, "Wow, we've never played these songs before," and they're like, "These are fun to play." So it's like a whole new band and a whole new experience. So everyone's getting really excited about, "Wow, this is fun." So we think about other songs that we haven't played and go, "Wow, that is a fun song to play," like you said, that they wouldn't think of.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you very much for coming on the show and
very good to meet you. Thank you so
Definitely.
much.
Like I said, we appreciate just the good old school metal because of the fact that obviously, if it doesn't suck, people still come.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. We appreciate everyone still coming and supporting Metal Church over the years.
Well, I think metal fans do have that camaraderie. They get attached to the bands, and then they always show up. Even if it's short supply, you still have a diehard guarantee 50 to 100 people that will show up at a gig just because, dudes, they're heroes. They've listened to the album for years, and they can't imagine not going to the gig.
Well, metal is a very passionate form of music. It brings out a lot of emotion in people, and that's where I come from. I'm a very emotional guy, and so I can relate. So it has a very special place in my heart.
That's awesome. Make sure you go to metalchurchofficial.com to go check out more of the music and tour dates from the band, and also make sure you go to the store and buy their swag and their music, so that way you can definitely yes, definitely. So that way you can appreciate it as well, and also show your colors when you go to other metal gigs. It's like, yeah, dude, I saw Metal Church. Fuck yeah.
Right on.
That's good stuff.
Hey, this is St. Thomas from the Sonny Thomas Show. Make sure you check out my show every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Resolution Radio Network at ResolutionRadio.com. We feature a lot of great artists and acts from local, regional, national, and international places, as well as unsigned acts and signed ones too. So there's a lot of great stuff you can find. Plus, we cover the wide range of politics and geopolitics, economics, and also other things that matter to you, and social issues that really matter to many other people across the demographics. Make sure you tune into my show, The Sonny Thomas Show, on the Resolution Radio Network at ResolutionRadio.com every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it.